Hi, I'm Asia, and welcome back to the Strange Days Diaries, and welcome to a bit of a unique video today. I normally start my videos at the beginning of the day, and I take you along for my whole day, like a day in the life vlog style, but today is going to be a little bit different. And by the way, really quickly, if this is the first time you're seeing my face or clicking on the channel, welcome. Like I said, my name is Asia and I live and travel full-time out of my cute little 1990 Chevy Astro van named Spec. This is the Strange Days Diaries after all, and today's video is gonna be just that, a little bit strange and a little bit spooky, if I do say so myself, and that's all I'm gonna say for right now, but I need to get going. I'm meeting a friend who's also actually a solo female van lifer, and we're gonna do this spooky, interesting, and unique thing together. By the way, her name is Annette, and her channel is Annette's Van Tease. Her channel will be linked below if you're curious, but I really need to get going, so let's go meet her and get this thing going. I'm kind of nervous because, well, you'll see. Hi, sorry for the jump scare. This is me from the future popping in really quick because I unfortunately pretty much only got B-roll for this entire evening, and it ended up being a really fun and interesting and spooky and creepy and all around wild evening with my friend Annette. And I really want to make this video worth your time, worth watching. And I feel like me talking about what happened during this evening with the B-roll kind of sporadically edited in would be the best way to do it. So let's get going. I have some notes on my laptop here so that I don't miss a single detail because it was quite interesting to say the least. So when it comes to Sacramento, I don't really know what to do when I'm there. I don't typically go there often, and I was really stuck here because of work. And so I did a little Google search and found out that there's a thing called the Sacramento Ghosts, Gunslingers, and Ghouls Tour. So I booked it. I thought it'd be interesting to go down to Old Sacramento and get a little tour, a spooky tour, if you will, of the history of the area. So I drove downtown, and Annette and I met up and we went out to Old Sacramento. The tour started at 8 o'clock, I believe. We got there around 7:45, 7:50. The sun was just setting. It was really beautiful out, and Old Sacramento is probably my favorite part of Sacramento. I don't know much about Sacramento, but I really like this part of town at least. And we met up with our tour guide. He was a really kind guy, really sweet. I was personally really happy that Annette agreed to do this tour with me because I kind of had a weird feeling I'd be the only one in the tour group because it was just a random Tuesday night that I booked this, and I was right. So Annette and I showed up, and our guide was waiting for us with a cute little lantern and did the tour together, and nobody else was on the tour with us. It was a walking tour that took about an hour, and it was super interesting. Our first stop was at the Delta King Hotel and Restaurant. It's this really beautiful old ship that used to run from Sacramento to San Francisco back and forth, and it's a hotel slash bar slash restaurant. It always has been, but now it doesn't run, and it's just docked in Old Sacramento, and it is still a working hotel and bar and restaurant. There is an interesting history to the Delta King, and apparently it's haunted by 3 ghosts. And also, me and Annette later on get a really unexpected, amazing VIP tour of the Delta King. Like, went onto the ship and got an unbelievable staff-only peek behind the scenes. And so definitely watch till the end of the video, and I filmed as much of that for you guys as I could. It was amazing and very unexpected. Our next stop on the tour was the Railroad Museum. Old Sacramento has a really amazing, extensive railroad museum. And then the stop after that was the History Museum. And after the History Museum, we walked up to the Eagle Theater. The Eagle Theater was actually one of my favorite stops on the tour. It had kind of a creepy vibe to it. I was definitely feeling energy within and around the Eagle Theater that made me kind of creeped out. And one kind of detail about this theater that I found really interesting is there are lights on the outside of the theater that randomly turn on and off, and they're also a different color and will shine different colors. It's not motion sensor lights, and they just randomly have a mind of their own. And so the locals believe that because the Eagle Theater is haunted, that the spirits are trying to like communicate through the lights, or that they're the reason why the lights turn on and off randomly. It's also apparently believed that the theater is haunted by its former director. Our second to last stop was to Sam Brannan's house. One kind of interesting detail that I noted that the guide was kind of intrigued about was that there was a window open at the top right part of the building that apparently, according to the guide, is never open. And there was also a light on upstairs, which there is a business on the ground level of this building, so possibly and probably someone went up and opened the window and turned the light on. But according to our guide, he's never seen that light on or that window open, so creepy. Our last stop on the tour was to the River City Saloon, or the Last Stop Saloon. This saloon, its original name was River City Saloon, and it's been here forever, according to our guide. And creepily enough, it actually once served as the city's hospital, and at one time it had at least 1,000 bodies in it. And this was in the 19th century. And if I remember correctly, according to our guide, the hospital was overrun with bodies because there was disease and stuff going around at the time, killing a lot of people. And these people needed to be moved. These bodies needed to be moved. And so what the city decided to do was dig a mass grave on Broadway Street, or right by Broadway Street, and just dump all the bodies in the mass grave. And they're still there to this day, under Broadway Street. And that just about wrapped our tour. But again, some very unexpected things ended up happening at the Delta King after we said goodbye to our tour guide. Annette and I wanted to go over to the Delta King boat because, first of all, it's gorgeous and you can just walk on. Even if you're not eating or drinking at the bar or restaurant or staying at the hotel, you can still go onto the boat. So we went on and we struck up a conversation with someone who worked there. And this woman ended up, I think she's just a server there, but she's very, very passionate about the history of the Delta King. And again, it's a really old ship and it's been around for a long time and it's beautiful. And she was just very passionate about it. And we were talking about everything with her. And she was like, you know what? I like you girls. I'm just going to take you and show you around. And little did we know we would see so much of this boat. We were not expecting this at all. We didn't pay this woman to do this, but she ended up taking us to a bunch of staff only rooms. She had this huge key ring. She was just opening doors, showing us. She showed us this beautiful theater that's in the boat and just a bunch of random rooms that normally nobody sees unless you're attending an event there or you work there or something like that. It was just beautiful, honestly, and I felt so lucky to have met her and that she trusted us to just show us around, and she didn't mind me filming, which was also a huge plus. So that was really unexpected and awesome. Wow. Thank you so much if you're watching. I doubt you are. I don't think I even told you my YouTube channel name, but hey, if you are, thank you again. You were seriously such a real one for that. Thank you. And the vlog/video is not over yet. Finally, I'll take you back to real time. So future me is gonna exit this video. Definitely watch till the end for a very, very unique bar. And I'm just gonna say it now. This is by far the coolest and most unique and hypnotic bar I've ever been to in my entire life. It was so cool, and who would have known? It's in Sacramento, so enjoy. All right, so I have not picked up the camera here in a moment and spoke to it, so hello. I'm here with Annette.
Hi.
We just did the ghost tour. It was really fun, and then as you guys saw, we went to, what was it called? King Delta?
The Delta King.
Delta King ship, and got a little VIP tour there too with a really wonderful woman who works there, and it was just so cool. Hopefully I did some voiceover for you guys so you could kind of understand what you were watching as you saw it. But now we're walking over to the dive bar, which is not a dive bar like you might think. So once we get there, you will see why it's named the dive bar. Annette and I walked by it the other day and she told me all about it, and I've been dying to go ever since. So that's where we're headed now. As you guys know, I'm a big dive bar fan. I love a good dive. I love a good deal and a cheap drink and a pool table. But this is not your typical dive bar. It is called the Dive Bar in Sacramento, though, and there is a real reason for that. The dive bar is famous for its massive fish tank / aquarium that spans the entire length of the bar, and there's lots of different types of fish in there with coral and seaweed. But if you're lucky, you will catch real life mermaids swimming above the bar top. This is by far the coolest and most mesmerizing thing I can even begin to think of for a bar. I can't believe there's not something like this in San Francisco. Watching the mermaid gracefully swim around above the bar top, blowing bubble rings, playing with props, and lip syncing to the music was so much fun. She did an amazing job, and like I said, it was just so mesmerizing to watch. If you've watched all the way to the end, I want to thank you. You are a real one. Please leave a little mermaid emoji in the comments below if you actually watched till the end. I know this wasn't my typical vlog style video today, but I really hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. But that about wraps it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. As always, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the road.